Right, so in this video, I'm gonna show you step by step how you can build something truly amazing with AI voice assistants. We're gonna use Vapi and Make.com and connect them to each other to make a squad that can actually, that has a receptionist that takes the first call and then either leaves a note for one of the team members or connects the call to another AI voice agent that can actually book meetings and put those meetings in your Google Calendar and send a confirmation link. So Google Meet assistant or appointment setter. So that's what we're going to do. What you can expect is when they call your phone number, first they're going to hear the receptionist and it's going to ask, hey, what is your question about? Can I leave a note for someone in the team? If you say, hey, I would like to book a meeting, then it's going to transfer you to Olive, and Olive is going to ask all the questions that it should ask in order to get the information to set up a meeting. So it's going to ask, what is the meeting about? What's your name? What's your backup phone number, which is really important, and also what is your email address where we can send the email link or meeting link to. Right now, just as with humans, also with AI systems, getting the email right is not really predictable. So that's why we ask for the backup phone number, such that we can actually call the caller back manually if we see that something went wrong in sending the email, like an error of this email doesn't exist. So that's why the meeting link wasn't sent. So that's what we're going to build together. This is a long one, so take a seat and prepare yourself. I'm going to make it as easy to follow and explain as possible. If you're not that advanced in Make.com or Vapi AI, you might want to watch my first video where I give you a basic tour of Vapi AI, a connection with Make.com. Get today's time. You have to actually watch that in order to have everything you need for this video. Or else, if you're kind of familiar with Make.com, you can probably build those systems yourself already. So yeah, let's dive into it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is actually build the assistants that we're going to put into a squad and then connect to our phone number. Just like the last video, I've added some details and a template for all the stuff that you're going to have to copy and paste in this environment. So just go to members.flereo.com/resources. You can find the video and find everything you need. I haven't added it yet. I'm going to do that after the video. But just like the last video, you're going to see this resource or something like this, then for this video. And then you're going to have everything you need to set everything up. If you run into problems, if you're struggling with something or running into an issue, you can just fill out this form and I will get back to you as soon as possible. It doesn't have to be neatly written. You can just write it out and I'll just get back to you. So yeah, check that out. Go to members.flereo.com and then you can explore that page. So let's get started. First, we're going to create an assistant. Now I'm going to make an assistant for our company Flereo, of course, like the ones I've already got. Flereo reception test. So I'm going to make a test one. And then we're going to use, well, in this case, I'll have added the resources in members.flereo.com, so you don't need to use appointment setter or anything else. Just use a blank template and then create assistant. And of course, I'm going to build this for Flereo, so that's our company, our AI automation agency, but you can edit the prompts and the first messages in any way that you like to better fit your unique situation. As I've said, there are some components from my last video that I'm gonna add in here that I'm not gonna repeat, just quickly touch on. So if there are anything, any quick things that you need to watch the last video for, I will mention it and then you can go ahead and do that, like getting the date and time. But I'm really gonna be very concise, very quick, but also very clear about how you're going to set this up. So if you just follow along, follow my steps, you'll be good to go, and you have your own AI receptionist and appointment setter. So in here we've made our test receptionist, and we can well, I've added the the entire prompt, so everything is in here. I'm not going to get into every single aspect or word and number and dot and semicolon in this prompt. So you can read it for yourself, find it in the resource hub, and then you know what instructions it got. Just to give you a quick overview, I gave it some key instructions for audio interactions. This is something I just copy and pasted from the template, and then the tasks for the receptionist. So connecting to an appointment setter, if the caller wants to set a meeting, it's going to use the squad function and connect to the appointment setter. If the caller wants to leave a note for the owner, in this case that's me, for Jasper, is going to get the required information and actually send the note via email to me. So it actually works also in the back end. But that are those are its core functions. In the model, I like to use the GPT-4o cluster. If it's not quick enough, you can experiment with that, of course. And well, everything here I'm not really going to touch. Transcriber, this is okay. English, DeepGram, Nova 2. The voice, I like to use Azure, OpenAI, or 11 Labs. In this case, I'm just going to copy and paste the one I've already built, and that now we're gonna build together. So let's go here. We're gonna choose Matt Washer. So that's a voice that I like. Publish it. Go to functions. Wait 1 second. We have to add the model. So this one is no longer in beta, which is awesome. So we can just choose the 11 Turbo V2.5. Sometimes it gives this error of updating assistant. You don't have to worry about that. I've never gotten that message and actually have an error in my system or in my development. So just click that away. We're gonna go to functions and then tools. I'm just gonna give you an overview of the tools that I've got in this environment and that we're gonna build together in a few minutes. So for this receptionist, we're gonna use the leave a note and get today's time. If it has to be a time-specific note, like I called today or he called last week, or could you give this note for next week? And it has to know the time, of course. So that's also a function that we've built in my last video. So if you want to get to know that function, watch my last video. It's a really quick one, really concise one. And you can get that function or tool in Vapi AI. Enable call function, of course, and any advanced settings that are important. Well, you can just leave this as is, as long as the tool function is, tool calls, tool call results. Those have to be turned on. And let's see, function call results, hang metadata, transcript. You can turn this off because that's gonna use up a lot of operations in make.com. It's just gonna transcript and send everything to make.com, or it might if you use the server URL. So you just unless you need it, just turn it off, because in make.com it's going to cycle your operations. It's gonna cost you a lot. Model output, phone call control, tool calls, and transfer destination request. So I've got this turned on. You've reached our voicemail. Just gonna do a quick goodbye. You can just turn this into anything that you would like. And this is our voicemail. So this is so now you have the assistant that you want. Of course, in later videos, I'm also going to go through the blocks feature. So that's like dialogue flow or conversation flow. You can add very specific requirements in blocks that you have to get a clear, concise answer to before you can go on to the next question. For example, if you want your receptionist to be very strict about the answers that it can give and the instructions and all the pathways it can talk, you can use blocks so that the caller can't use any random questions or get any random results. It's much more strict, something I'm going to get back into later. So now we're exploring squads. We've built our first assistant, the Flereo Receptionist, test assistant, and we're also going to build the book a meeting assistant. You can name this anything you want, of course. Flereo book a meeting, blank template, again, because you can go to the resource and just copy paste whatever I've got there. I'll add it later, as I've said. So this is what we're going to. I'm just going to copy and paste this right here. So this one I've made a bit more specific. You're Olive. Hi, this is Olive. How can I assist you? Your appointment setter for Flereo, an AI automation agency in the Netherlands. Some information about Flereo, rules for booking meetings, and also the booking process. So these are very clear and instructions about how do you book a meeting, and it actually responds pretty well to this, as long as you put the model to GPT-4o cluster, so that's the newest model, such that it can comprehend this at the highest capacity. So this is all configured. Transcriber is okay, just leave it as is, and the voice, I'd like to change this to, what did I do? 11 Labs, Olivia. Let's see, Olivia. Publish. Great. So let's see, get back to the model, everything's all right. And when we go to functions, the tools that we're going to build are enable end call function, of course. Has to be able to end the call. If you don't select this as true, then it won't be able to hang up. So if the caller forgets to hang up, it will just continue forever or for as long as you set the limit for the call. In advance, you can set limits for how long a call could last, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or longer or shorter. Here's some here are the functions or the tools that we're going to add. For this one, it's going to be get availability and set meeting. You don't need to use get today's time because it's already going to find the time with the automation that we're going to give it. So don't worry about that. Yeah, everything here is set up. So we're going to head over to booking a meeting. Now we're going to build the actual tools, and then later we're going to add them to Vapi AI. So let's go to tool. These are the different tools that I've already built, and now we're going to do that part together. New tool, make. Now we have to get we're going to start with book a meeting. So in order to get to this place, you have to make an account with make.com, log in, go to scenarios and click new scenario. You get into this environment right here. You can rename the environment, but just clicking here, I've called it booking a meeting. And if you just follow along with my steps precisely, you will be okay. Go here, add a webhook. If you don't have it at the top of the scrolling page, you can just type in webhook. Make sure you don't use a mail hook, but a webhook. That's very important. And then add a new one. And then webhook name. In this case, we're going to call it my Vapi set a meeting webhook test. So I'm just doing test because I've already got these ones, and this is a test for the video, of course. So that's the webhook name. We're going to copy this. So copy to clipboard is actually copying this link, and that's what we're going to use to send the information and data to. So we're going to copy and paste it here. That's going to be our server URL. Now, with the systems that we built with Flereo, we're actually currently doing server-hosted automation. So we have our own service in AWS and use those server URLs. But that's I've tried making a video. I thought about making a video about that, but I think that's a little more complex than what we're doing here. It's really difficult to make a video about. But in any case, you copy and paste the webhook server URL in here. And we're going to build our schema. So these are the things that you want to send to make.com. Let's see. We are currently building the... What was it again? The book a meeting, right? Which I forgot. Which one are we building right now? Previous. I can't even remember. Does it say anywhere which one we are building? I'm just guessing it's... wait, of course it says right here. Booking a meeting. Perfect. So booking a meeting... we have to give make.com a few properties. So what it does is it asks certain questions in the conversation, and it gets that data and puts it in the right properties, such that you can send it to make.com and use it in the automation. And it's really good at this, and it's very flexible, so you don't have to give very complex or specific instructions. If it reads the description of your tool, it actually knows where to put certain or fill out certain arrays. So in this case, we're going to call it property name is going to be, the first one is going to be date. So that's the first thing that we're going to want to send to make.com. What's this? Turning like that. So that's the first thing that we're going to send to make.com. So the name and everything else has to be descriptive, and also your description of the property has to be very specific. So in this case, I'm saying, hey, get the date out of this conversation, and then so in the prompt of the assistant, I say, hey, ask for a date that they could they want to set the meeting. Once they figure it out, a date that actually works, it's I give the instruction to put the date into this property, so the date and time, and put it in an ISO 8601 format. So that's a very specific format that actually is readable in make.com and works with any automation, and that you can very flexibly formulate with or play with. So just copy. I'm giving a lot of explanations, but you can just copy and paste this, and then you know how to build this thing. Name. So that's another property. Oh, something happened there. Oh, never mind that. I'm not going to give a huge explanation about all of these, so I'm just going to fill out the rest of them. Name, the name of the caller. About. Another one is about. So what is the meeting going to be about? Subject of the meeting. Email. This is the longest one because the other ones don't have properties, because you're actually retrieving information instead of sending it. So this is the only one where you have to give properties, because in this one you're actually sending information that you want to use in your make.com automation, namely setting a meeting. The email of the caller. So and these descriptions are so that your Vapi AI knows which or what information to put into which property. So now we're doing company, name of the company of the caller, and I think the last one is phone number. And that's the phone number that the caller is currently calling with. Yeah, those are all of them. Yeah. So these are all the things that we're going to get out of the meeting, ask our caller, and then send to make.com. I'm going to click next. What is this tool for? I'm also just going to copy and paste that if I can find it. This is also important. This is what the Vapi AI assistant reads before it even reads the properties, before it decides to use this tool. So this has to be very descriptive, but also very concise, because it has to fit into the context frame that Vapi AI uses. And it's going to be, this tool is going to schedule a meeting with the caller. So if the caller asks to set a meeting, this is the tool that he's going to use. And it's also the one that we've given in our prompt. So for now, I'm just going to call this set meeting 2 because I've already got one. So just to how do you say that? Distinguish between the one I've already got and the new one. Just to check if this is the right one. HLLV4. Yeah, that's the right one. So now we've actually made the tool. So that means we can go here. This is also, we're immediately starting out with the most complex one. It's booking a meeting. And I've made it really concise and clear, and I've not added a lot to this one. All you're going to have to do is add a Google Meet module, create a meeting. And if you do this for the first time, you're going to have to connect your Google account. Normally we use Microsoft for this because that's what our systems are run on, but it's a little complexer with the security and stuff. So I've chosen Google Meet for the purposes of this video. So just create a Google account and then log in via make.com. Just when you add this module, follow the prompts and you'll be all right. For now, I'm just going to copy and paste whatever I've got in my original one, so you can just follow along. I'm going to choose vligeobv@gmail.com, event name. I'm going to copy and paste this. These are all the functions and all the arrays that we're going to send and properties that we're going to send to make.com. Right now, they're supposed to be filled in. Now they're lined with red or pink, whatever, but that means that it doesn't recognize that yet because we have not used the webhook thus far. Right now, it doesn't matter. I've added it in the resources, so the members.vlego.com. You can just copy and paste it. Once we run it, it's going to recognize it and get the first bunch of data. So for now, just fill this in and don't worry about how it looks. Start date, just copy and paste whatever I've put into the resource hub, and then end date is also just copy and paste whatever I've put in there. I'm going to give a quick explanation about the end date because this is not just an array. I've also added a function to it such that it gives, if you, the only thing that the assistant is going to ask is when do you want the meeting, but the meeting has to have an end date. We're not going to ask them for 30, we only said 30-minute meetings, and we're not going to ask them, okay, so you want a meeting at 3 o'clock, that's going to be, is that going to be until the end date 3:30? So that would be weird in the conversation. So we actually use a calculation, a date calculation function in make.com to add 30 minutes to the date and time that we get from Vapi. So this is an explanation. You don't actually need this information for it to work, but I thought, hey, if you're wondering what does this mean, that's what it means. So that's the function right there. And then in the description, I'm going to, well, you have to check show advanced settings. And then you can go to description and just copy and paste whatever I put in there. Once you get to know make.com, or if you already know it, you're going to understand what this all means and is. But for now, just copy and paste it to make it a little easier for yourself. Attendees, well, in this case, I'm going to add myself and my email. So I'm going to send this meeting to myself, and then also I'm going to add the user. So this is, again, all the information that we're going to get from Vapi, but it's not yet sent, so that's the reason why it's outlined. But this is the name and company name, and then we're also going to have to dynamically get the email from the caller. So that's what it's going to put in here. I've also built the system in a way that it's very unpredictable in its ability to correctly spell the email. So it does ask for the email, it asks to spell the email, and it repeats the email, but sometimes it's just, it only has to misspell one character for it not to work. So I've made sure that it says, hey, sometimes we misspell the email. So if that's the case, our team at Federeo is going to call you back to confirm the meeting and see if your meeting link got through. So that's the reason why we also sent an internal link, of course, or link internally and an update, such that you can call after the meeting and confirm it. So this is all you have to put in here, and then this function works. So don't worry about it. We're going to test it, and it should work when we test it later. So that was the most the most difficult tool that we have to build. Now we're going to make the get availability. Our assistant also has to get the availability of our calendar to see what works when we're busy, when we're not. So we're going to go here, go to make, and then add another webhook right here. So let's do that. Webhook, not mailhook, webhook, that's important. Add, and then we're going to call it get availability Vapi 2. I'm just going to call it 2 because then I can delete it later. So everything you see right now, I'm going to delete later, of course. And then we are going to add it here. Server URL. So that's, again, the server URL that we're going to use to get and send information from. And each tool has to have its own server URL, unless you're using server-hosted APIs. It's a little bit more complicated. I'm not going to get into that right now. And in this tool, you don't need to add any properties because it is actually calling information and not giving information. So unless you're going to want to make it a little more complex, if you want to make all the build all the automations in one space, for example, you can use both functions. In this case, you don't need that. And what is this tool for? I'm just going to copy and paste that real quick. Get availability 2. You can't use any spaces there, else it's not going to recognize it. And then this is the description that I'm going to give it, such that it recognizes it. And then we're going to build the last tool. I'm just going to do the tools real quick so we don't have to worry about that anymore. We can just end with building the make.com animations. So we're going to use each of these are different scenarios, so you have to make new scenarios once you add an automation for a new tool. So this is the leave a note scenario. I'm going to add leave a note Vapi 2. So we're going to copy and paste that. I'm going to click make.com, copy and paste, save, and click next. Property name. We don't have to use any. Oh wait, we do have to. I'm sorry, I keep saying that the other one is the only one with properties. But of course, if we leave a note, we're going to have to send information about the message and the caller's first name, etc. So we're going to have to add, I think, 3 properties to this one. I'm just going to copy and paste them real quick. I think once you read the property name and description, you're going to understand what they're about. So the second one is caller first name. First name of the caller. And let's see, then it's the caller company name. Caller company name. Kind of self-explanatory, I think. The company name of the caller, of course. So it's really a basic function, but also a very powerful one. So that's great. And what is the tool for? Leave a note, of course, and the description is going to be this tool is used to leave a note for the owner, Jesper Ryberg, and you can use that, change that into your own name. I'm quickly going to change the tool name right here so I can recognize it, and then click save. You don't have to use the to at the end. So now we've added all the tools, but these tools don't have any functionality just yet. They're just there to call things from make.com or send information. So we're going to build the get availability scenario automation. So get availability, we've hooked this to Vapi, and this is the one that we're going to build. I'm first going to add the modules. You can just follow along and do exactly what I do, even if you don't know a lot about make.com. If you just follow the steps, it will work for you. So we're going to make a request in the first module. I'm not going to fill it in just yet. First, we're going to add the modules. Then Calendly. I like to use Calendly. If you don't know much about automation and all the platforms and how to connect them with APIs, I would say just use the exact same platforms that I do. If you're more familiar with make.com and all the stuff that hangs around it, you can use your own scheduling service. But just to make it as easy as possible, I've used Calendly. And we're going to make a request. Wait, this is just this is just an API call. I thought maybe there was also already a function for that, but not yet. So we're going to have to use an iterator. These are a little complex to explain in this video. Later, at a later date, I'm going to give I think a short course or the most important tools in make.com. I'm not going to get into that right now, so you can just follow along, follow the steps, and you'll be fine. So we're going to add an iterator, and then we're going to add a text aggregator. And then we're going to add create JSON. The create JSON is really important because you have to format the response in a way that Vapi AI will understand. So webhooks and webhook response. Great. So now we've added all the modules, and now we're going to fill them in, of course. So just follow along, follow the steps that I do. I'm going to try to explain some of them while I'm performing them. This is the worldtimeapi.org, API time zone Europe, Amsterdam. This is the API that we're going to call to get the right time for now. If you don't live in Europe or Amsterdam time zone, you want to use your own time zone, don't change anything other than this. So change it to just Google time zones and then change these endpoints, and then you will get your time. So that's the one that you could use. Skip the headers and the query strings. Just use body type raw, and then JSON application, because you don't need any key or whatever to get the response. This is a really easy HTTP module. Just ask for the date and time of this moment, and you're going to get it. Then Calendly, you have to go to calendly.com, I think, make an account, make a calendar, connect it to Google or Outlook or whatever you use for your calendar. Set Calendly up. I think I'm going to do that, make an instruction video about that at a later date, but it's really not that hard. Just go to calendly.com, make an account, make an availability schedule, and an event type. For example, booking a meeting where you get a link and you can send it to people and they can jump into your calendar and book a meeting, and then you'll be all set, and you have to sync that one to your own calendar. It's not something I'm going to show in this video, but really it's not a big hassle. You can do that in no time, and it's really self-explanatory, actually. If you get into any problems setting that up, again, go to the members.flereo.com page, fill in the form with your question, and I will get back to you and try to help you the best I can. For now, just follow along. So for the headers, we're going to use, wait one moment. Okay, so I noticed that I made a little mistake. You can use this one, but in the template that I built, we're going to have to use an HTTP module. So delete that one, go here, make a call with an HTTP module. We're going to make a request. Click cancel, just drag it over here. And that will connect to between the HTTP module and the iterator module. And well, just follow along, do exactly what I do. We're going to call this API endpoint, so api.calendly.com/user-busy-times. And then we're going to use the get method. And this one is going to be a little tricky because I can't show you my my authorization code. So either I'm going to blur that out in editing, or well, I'll just add that later. So you're going to have to get your authorization code with Calendly. How do you do that? Make an account, go to document, go to the admin part of Calendly and create a token. It's not really difficult. If you got ChatGPT, just put it on one screen, ask it, how do I get, after you've built or registered with Calendly, just ask it, how do I get an authorization token from Calendly? And then you can get that in no time. If you've got any problems with that, any difficulties, just fill out the form in members.flereo.com and I will help you out, get back to you as soon as possible. But that's what you're going to do. Click add an authorization token. Actually, because it's really important how you're going to add this, I'm just going to show you right now. First you type bearer. So this access token is going to be a very long sequence or string of random letters and numbers that is unique to your account. And it's really not going to make any sense, but it's important that you add bearer and then a space and then the token, such that it understands that is this this token that it's going to use. So a really long array, much longer than this, of random tokens is what you're going to add in here. Because it's a secret one, I'm not going to show it to you in this video because I don't want the entire world to know my secret key, as many other automation developers would understand. So we're going to skip to the next one, and then content type is going to be application and JSON. So that's the type, that's the format that we want as a response. And then we also have to add a query string of what are we actually calling for. Difficult to explain in the short tutorial video, but just copy and paste whatever I put in here. If I forget to add anything in the members.flereo.com resource page, you can just copy and paste exactly what I've got. Small thing that I do have to say is you have to wait. You know what? I'm just going to show you guys how this works, because we're also going to have to call the exact user that you're using. So I'm just going to show you guys how this works, so you know, hey, what string of numbers do I need to get here? Alright, so I've decided that I'm just going to show you how to get all these things in Calendly. I thought in my mind, like, oh, this is not that hard, but then I thought about it and I was like, okay, this is a pretty crucial part of this video. Would be a shame if you got this far and you don't know, you can't figure out this part. So what you will do, you go to Calendly, you make your account, you set up an event, so that's this 30-minute meeting, and your availability. So those are two things you're going to have to do yourself. After you've done that, you're going to go to integration and apps, and if you click that, you're going to go get here. So integration and apps, now actually you're going to get here. So integration and apps, you're going to click API and webhooks, and then you're going to generate a new token. Obviously, I'm not going to show you my token in this video, but it's really long string, an array of random digits. It'll speak for itself, basically. So you're going to copy that code. You're going to keep it. You can only see it once, if I remember correctly. So you're really going to have to save it immediately, and then such that you can use it at a later date in different scenarios. You can also generate 10, by the way. And then you're going to go here. So you're going to go to developer.calendly.com/API middle. What is that called again? Docs. It's going to call. You can just go to developer.calendly.com, and then you're going to see this. You're going to click API reference, and you're going to scroll down and go to. Let's see. We're going to go down to users and then get user, and that's where you're going to find your unique user ID. I've use an extension to hide my bearer token in this field, but you're going to go here to auth. You're going to have to click. This is one thing that really frustrated me and took me a long while to figure out. I was like, why is it not working? And then I remembered, oh shit, I'm using the OAuth 2.0 security scheme. And we're currently using a bearer token, so you're going to have to click bearer auth and then add the token right here, send an API request, and then you're going to see this right here. Again, I've removed the token, so that's blurred out, so that you can't see it right now. But you don't need that, you're going to need this. So this is what you'll get, and this is what you're going to need, the URI, and then the endpoint here. So you're going to have to copy that. That's your user ID. And then you can come back to get availability. And you can just paste it right here. And then you've got your own. So that's what you're going to want to use. And then we can fill out the next items together. So gonna add another query string start time. Again, this is not gonna make any sense to make.com right now, but it will at a later date. And then end time. Type. Wait, no, we're gonna add another parameter. End time, and then again we're going to use make.com function to get the end time. I don't have to explain to you right now how this works or how this is formatted. Just copy and paste whatever is in resources, and then you can use that as well. Body type, raw, content type, JSON application, and parse to response. Yes, so that's very important. Click parse response, then check if you've got everything just like I do, but make sure it's really not going to work if you use mine, because you don't even have access to mine because it's an ID and you need the token for that. So just make sure this is your own, and make sure that you also add the bearer token that we generated here. So you're going to type bearer. That's something that you're going to have to type yourself. Then you click space, hit space, and then you add your bearer token. So, yeah, I'm going to do that real quickly right now, off camera, and then I'll be back with you. All right, so I've added my own bearer token off camera. We're going to hit OK, so that it saves whatever we put in there, and then head over to the iterator. Don't worry about this warning that it gives right now, because we haven't run the automation yet, so it doesn't know where to get the information from. In the iterator, we're going to Add this one, data collection. And actually, come to think of it, I don't think I'm going to put everything in here. I'm just going to give you the import and export of this of each make.com scenario. So if you've got a new, if you make a new scenario, you don't have to do anything other than add the webhook yourself. And then you're going to go to scenario settings. Wait, no, not scenario settings. GUI. You're going to go to more and then import blueprint. So I'm going to export the blueprint and you're going to input my blueprint. And then you have this entire module. You don't have to copy and paste everything that I have. You can just put it in yourself. So that's what we're going to put in there. And then the tools. Source module is going to be the iterator. And again, copy and paste this right here. So we're going to format the time and date in a way that our system is going to understand, such that we get the availability. And we're actually getting the busy times. So we've already given the times at which we can set meetings. We did that in the prompt of the assistant, namely 9 to 5. And now we're going to give it the time slots that are busy. So it knows, like if I say 3 o'clock on a Thursday and is already a meeting at 3 o'clock on a Thursday, it actually knows that and it says, hey, we're already scheduled for that day. Could we do another date or time? So that's what we're going to do. And then in the JSON, we're going to add a data structure. We're going to call it literally whatever. Whatever's. It doesn't really matter what you put in here. And then 1 second. We're going to go to Vapi dashboard, go to the documentation, because we have to actually copy and paste the structure that Vapi AI expects from us. So we're going to go down to, let's see, tool calling. Going to go down here, go here. We're going to go to generate. And we're going to paste that which we copied right there. And then we're going to hit generate so that we get everything we need. Let's check that real quick. Yeah, that's everything how we want it. Don't change anything. Now we've got we've automatically generated the structure of the JSON that we're going to build. So we can just put in the arrays and then everything will be good to go. So this is the get availability. Tool call ID, I'm going to put in there. And booked hours in Central Europe time zone. So the tool call ID is what we're going to put in there, such that, how do I say that? If we send this back to a Vapi, it has to know which tool called this information and which tool to send it to the AI assistant with. So that's what we're going to put in there. And the result is just our message for the assistant. So you can just put it in normal terms. And that's what we did with the iterator and the tools. We turned the ISO 8601 date format into a normal format that is a little easier for the Vapi AI assistant to understand. And also it's going to read it out loud, and it would sound really weird if you use that ISO 8601 format. So booked hours in Central Europe time zone, we're going to add that too, so that if they ask, hey, what time zone is that for, or I'm actually living in this time zone, it can change the response accordingly. So we're going to click OK and just add the webhook response and then the JSON string right here. So whatever comes out here, we're going to send back to the webhook. Going to click save anyway, and then schedule. Well, we have to first fix the scenario, so we'll get back to that. And then we're going to build the last make.com scenario, and that's going to be leave a note. Now this is a really easy one. We're going to copy and paste. Wait, no, we don't have to copy and paste. We've already connected it. We're going to go here. In my case, I'm going to use Microsoft 365 because that's my email. And I'm going to go and create and send a message. and then I'm going to go there, and then subject. One moment. So now you can just, again, copy and paste, or just exactly copy whatever I put in here. If for some reason it doesn't load, so my import or blueprint doesn't load into the, or I forgot to add it, or whatever, you can't put it in here, just know that whatever I'm putting in here is going to be one of the things you can choose right here. So you just have to look at the video that I'm giving you, see, hey, he's entering the one message tool calls, and then if you have it right here, you can just choose that and then add it to your automation. And how do you get that is actually by calling the assistant, clicking on run once. I'm going to show you in a bit, and then you can get the information that make.com is going to reference in the future. It's going to be all clear in a minute once I show it to you. Gonna add to recipients, gonna add myself again. And then, well, I guess that's it. That's all we have to add. Also show advanced settings and choose text. That's important so that it knows how to structure this, because we're not using HTML format, we're using normal text format. And here we can just use a webhook response. And use the format directly. So add the toolkit ID and then result successfully left a note. I'm going to click OK, save and schedule. So this is what it's going to work with. And well, if I'm correct, we should be able to, we've turned this one on, we've turned the rest on, so we can just call our assistant and it will work. Save anyway, run once. Ignore warnings. Okay, we're gonna have to run this webhook first, so we're gonna have to get the availability. What we're gonna do, we're not gonna connect it to the phone just yet. We're first gonna give it the data so that it understands where to give what exactly. So we're going to our test, and this is get availability, so we're going to get the availability from the meeting. So that's the one that we're going to choose, Fleero book a meeting. So that's the one we're going to call right now.
Hi, this is Olive. How can I assist you?
All right, so now that we made a call, we actually have some data to work with, but in the get availability scenario, we still have to fill out some of the things manually right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the HTTP module. We're going to click on run this module once, and then we're going to get the information that we need. We're going to go to, not headers, we're going to go to output, data, and then we're going to need to copy exactly this string. So this is in ISO 8601 format. The format that I'm talking about looks a little weird. So you're just going to have to copy it and not think about it too much. Go to run once and then paste it in date time. Click on OK. It's going to run this module. Right now it's connected to my Calendly, of course, and it's going to generate some information about end date, start time, all that kind of stuff. And what this iterator does is it data collection. Let's see. I don't think that's right. It has to get this data collection. No, from this one. So yeah, we're gonna have to remove what is already there and click on data and then collection right there. And Then we're going to go to tools. So these are the things I thought at first that we could just copy and paste this, but we actually have to add this manually. So these are the steps you're going to have to follow to fix the scenario, the get availability scenario. Then we're going to go to tools. Iterator, that's very important that you put that in there as the source module so that you get this stuff right here. The function, you don't really have to worry about that. You can just copy and paste that, leave it as is, but these things are going to have to be edited. So we're going to have to format the end and start and end time that we got in the HTTP module that's connected to our Calendly in order for our model to understand when we're busy, which time slots. So we're going to have to go here, HTTP make a request, so that's that one. If I hover above this, that one's actually going to do that. So that's how you know you got the right one. Going to go to collection, and with start we're going to put start, and with end we're going to select end time. So I'm going to click OK. So now it recognizes which arrays it should use, and then booked hours in Central Europe zone, we're going to click this. So now it has everything and all of the stuff that it needs to give a good, make a good scenario. So if there's no more errors, you can just click on scheduling, delete all data, delete. All right, so I remember that we actually have to give Flireo book meeting test also the current date and time, or else it's not going to know when to plan or book the meeting. So at the start of each conversation, always use the get today's time function to get the current date and time. So I'm just going to add this real quick. I think that this will work. This is a prompt that's good enough. You can optimize this prompt, of course, do a little prompt engineering, optimize it, but I think this is good enough. So we're going to add that into the prompt. Going to go to functions. We're going to add the get today's time thing. I've already done it right now, but this is the one that we built together in my last video. So you could just add that right here, get today's time. And then it will actually call the time at the beginning of the conversation, such that it knows when to plan the meeting. Also, I'm going to get my calendar so I can actually show you when my new meeting is scheduled. But for now, let's test it out. Everything should be working right now. So let's do that.
Hi, this is Olive. How can I assist you?
Hi, Olive. This is John Doe from Super Agency. I would like to book a meeting with you guys.
Just a sec. All right, John, let's get started. Can you please spell your first name for me? Also, what's the name of your company?
My first name is John, and my company name is Super Agency.
Thanks, John. Can I get a backup phone number in case there are any issues with the booking?
Yeah, my backup phone number is 06-12345-678.
Got it. Now what's the meeting about? And I'll need your email to send a confirmation. Could you spell your email for me?
Yeah, my email is superagency@12356789248.
Just to be sure, can you spell your email address for me?
It's just as it sounds.
All right, John. I'll need you to spell it out for me to make sure. Can you do that?
I can't do that at this time. Just try your best.
No worries, John. We'll manage. When would you like to schedule this 30-minute meeting for this week? Our available slots are weekdays from 9:17 CET.
How about tomorrow at 4?
Just a sec. Looks like 4 p.m. tomorrow is already booked. How about 4:30 p.m. instead?
Well, what date is tomorrow?
Tomorrow is July 31st, 2024.
Well, then let's do July or August 1st at 4. So this Thursday.
Just a sec. All right, John. Your meeting is set for Thursday, August 1st, 2024 at 4 p.m. CT. Just to confirm all the details, date and time. Thursday, August 1st, 2024 at 4 p.m. CET. Your phone number, 06-12-34-56-78. The Flerio team will contact you to confirm. If you don't receive a confirmation email, it might have been misspelled, and the team will reach out to you. Got all that?
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, so that worked pretty well, actually. It did make the meeting, but because I gave a nonsensical email address, Google Meet didn't recognize it. So, well, that's obvious, of course. You don't want to book nonsense meetings. You want an actual email, but if I use an actual email address, it would have booked the meeting, and the caller would have been given a link, sent a link to their email address. Of course, if the email address wasn't correct or something went wrong, there's still an internal message that is sent so that you can actually contact the caller and fix the issues. For now, let's see what the response was, just to be sure. So let's see. Booking a meeting. Okay, but what was bundle, message, tool calls, function, arguments. Yeah, so this is this is the bullshit email. That's the reason why I have added the prompt of, hey, we need to confirm your email just to be sure, because this is the type of stuff that happens if you don't. But now we do see that it actually works. Just to be sure, I'm gonna try that one more time, so I can actually show you the end result. As you can see, the get availability worked perfectly.
This is Olive. How can I assist you?
Hi, Olive. I would like to book a meeting with you guys.
One moment. Sure thing. Let's get that sorted for you. First, can you spell your first name for me?
My first name is John.
Thanks, John. And your company name?
Is Super Agency.
Super Agency, got it. Just in case, could I have a backup phone number?
Yeah, that's 06-1234-569.
Perfect. Now, what's the subject of the meeting? Oh, and I need your email for confirmation. Could you spell that out for me, too?
I would like to explore opportunities for collaboration, and my email is info@riveadigital.com. So that's RIVEA digital.com.
Cut it, exploring collaboration opportunities. Now let's find a 30-minute slot for this week. What time works for you?
How about this Friday at 1 p.m.?
Sorry, a few more seconds. Okay, let me confirm. You want to book a meeting this Friday at 1 p.m. CET, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
This'll just take a sec. All right, John, I've got you booked in for this Friday,
Wait,
August 2nd at 1
something
p.m.
went wrong.
CET. If you don't...
Can you redo the meeting? Booking the meeting?
Just a sec. Well, It seems like there's a hiccup with the system, but don't worry, the Flirio team will reach out to you to confirm everything.
Wait, no, just
If you
try to
don't
book
get
the meeting
an
again.
email, it might... Just a sec. Well, it seems the system is acting up. The Flirio team will reach out to you if you don't get a confirmation email. It was probably misspelled.
All right, so yeah, perfect, thank you.
Great, no problem at all. Have
Thank
a
you.
fantastic day, John.
You too, bye-bye. All right, so I forgot to actually turn on the automation, so I asked it to redo it. And I thought it didn't, but it did actually redo it. So that's perfect. I can show you that it actually booked the meeting right here. So meeting with John, and it sent a confirmation to reveadigital.com. I can show you that right now. So that's my calendar, a meeting with John Doe. Automatically set that meeting. And then if I go to info@reveadigital, let's see. I have to verify my information. In any case, you can see the information. The link is also sent to info@reveadigital.com with all the information that I would want. So I can automatically set meetings and also get the availability and do it at the correct date and time. And so that's very important. That's why I made that first video, getting the correct day and time, adding that function and asking it to actually call that function at the beginning of the conversation is very important for setting meetings and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, now we have two different assistants. The first is a receptionist that can leave a note or transfer the call to Olive in this case, who is the appointment setter for Flirio and can actually book appointments and set meetings. But now, of course, we're calling them individually, and it would be perfect if we could connect the two and call them, have the receptionist agent automatically connect or transfer the call to Olive. So that's what squads are for, and that's the subject of this video right now. I'm going to make the most basic squad that you could possibly make in make.com. Or in Vapi AI. We're going to go to build squad, new squad, and then we're going to go to, we're going to click on Flirio reception. So that's the first assistant that you're going to use. And then we're going to add another one, click the plus, and then we're going to add the Flirio book meeting test. It's a kind of like dialogue flow, but as opposed to adding cards, you're actually adding entire agents, so they're a lot more flexible. So you're going to draw a link from this to that, and then we're going to go here, and we're going to change the model settings. This is actually important because it's by default on 3.5, and that's not, I think, good enough to get the accuracy of an output or understanding of the conversation that you would want, especially for setting and booking a meeting, but also leaving a note. So we're going to change that into GPT-4o cluster. That's the best model right now. Click save. And then we have that. So now we have everything we want. We have the Flirio receptionist test and Flirio book a meeting test, but now they are not currently connected to a phone number. And in order to do that, you're going to go here. And first you're going to go here, click on this icon right here, and then click on API documentation. Then you're going to see this right here, and you're going to go and scroll down to phone numbers, and then click on patch, update phone number. That's the API reference for your phone number. And you're going to, first you're going to have to, get your API key. So in order to get that, you're going to go down here, click on API keys, and then copy the private key. I'm not going to show you that right now because, again, it's a private key, so I don't want that publicly on YouTube. But I'm going to have to copy that again, just like currently it's a random array of digits and numbers. and I think it's a bit shorter, but it's kind of the same thing as candidly. So you're gonna put that in here. After the bearer, I've blurred it for now, so you can't see that, and I've also blurred it here. And then in path, you're gonna wanna get your phone number. So in this case, I'm gonna use this phone number, Flerio reception, and then go there. And then copy this and paste it right here. And then this is actually the environment where you can kind of change the configuration of your phone numbers. And this is where you do that. You can hover over the info icon to understand, hey, what is this for? But for now, I'm just going to show you what you should put in here. So here you're going to choose number, and here you're going to choose true. Wait, you're going to choose true. Yeah, you're going to choose true. Number string, this is the phone number to transfer the call to. You're not going to put anything in there unless you really want. Wait, you have to do that. So let's do 06. Wait, we're going to do the Flerio, the official Flerio phone number in this case. So I'm going to scroll down there. Go here. Going to put that in there. Extension, you don't have to put it in anything right here. Nope. Name string. This is the name of the phone number. This is just for your own reference. No, we don't have to do that. Assistant ID. We're not going to connect it to a system. We're going to connect it to a squad. So we've built a squad. We've built a squad in the dashboard environment. So we're going to go to squads. Load that up. I do have squads. I'm pretty sure that I do have squads. Sometimes Vapi has a little internal error, so you have to reload it. Go to squads, find the one we just made, copy the squad ID, put it in here, and then serve URL secret. You don't have to change any of those. You're going to click send. And then right here you get a confirmation. Squad ID must be UUID. Let's see what we're wrong here. Copy the squad ID. Oh, didn't copy that correctly. Send. See if it works. Fallback destination number must be a valid number. Okay, so the configuration has to be very specific. Where is it? Fallback. Yeah, there it is. So you have to use the right format. Plus 31. And then now it should work. You can actually see the authorization. Well, not the entire code. So I think that's good enough. Yeah, and this is so now we have a confirmation. We've added the squad to the phone number. So if we call that phone number, it should actually work, or it does work. I'm quite certain that it does work. All right, so now it's time for the big reveal. I've cleaned everything up. So I closed all the tabs, and all we're going to do right now is just call the assistant squad, or call the AI squad, and then first talk to Leo, and then talk to Olive, and try to get that meeting set up, and also send that Google Meet link. So yeah, let's try that out.
Hi there, I'm Leo from Flerio AI Automation Agency. How can I assist you?
Hi, Leo. I would like to book a meeting with you guys.
Sure. Great. I'll connect you to Olive, our appointment setter at Flerio. Just a second, please.
Hi, this is Olive. How can I assist you?
Hey, Olive. I would like to book a meeting with you guys.
Just a sec. Sure. All right, it's 4 p.m. here. Let's get your meeting booked. First, could you spell your first name for me?
Yeah, my first name is John. John.
Great. And your company name, John?
My company name is Super Agency.
Awesome, John. Got it. A backup phone number in case we have any booking issues.
Yeah, so you can just use 06 123 4 5 6 7 9.
Perfect. And what's the subject of the meeting? Also, could you spell your email for confirmation?
Yeah, sure. So the subject of the meeting is trying to see if we could collaborate in some way. And my email is info@flireo.com. So that's info@flireo.com.
This'll just take a sec. Okay, John. Now, could you give me a 30-minute time slot for this week that works for you?
How about, let's see, Friday at 12?
Perfect. I will just check before we proceed. Bear with me. Give me a moment. Okay, John. We've got you booked for Friday at 12 p.m. Date: Friday, August 2nd, 2024. Time: 12 p.m. Phone number: 06123455679. The Flirio team will contact you to confirm. If you don't receive a confirmation email, it might be misspelled, and the team will reach out to you. Anything else I can help you with?
No, that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome, John. Thanks for calling. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. You too. All right, perfect. So as you can see, it set the meeting for this Friday at 12, just as we requested. And I can go ahead and, well, it's not the my system is not responding very quickly. I'm just gonna request that. That's just my my Outlook tab. So I'm just gonna refresh that real quick, and then I can give you the results. I'm doing it right here because there are some meetings that I can't show in this video. So there we go. There we go. That's everything we asked for. So the meeting was with John about collaboration opportunities. The backup phone number is 06123457 So it got that correctly. And well, company name Super Agency. When 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And organizer Jesper Rydbergen of flireo@gmail.com. And the guests are Flireo, so that's my original phone number, and then also Team Flireo BV. So it also got the email right, so it's info@flireo.com, and actually set the meeting in my calendar and sent me the invite link via email. So that's perfect. As you can see, we've built this AI system together, and it's really, really great. You can modify this, and once you know the basics, once you know how to build assistants and connect them together, you can really experiment with this and build amazing systems. And if you also eventually learn how to use knowledge bases, so files, and blocks, this Vapi AI system is really going to be the most powerful platform you can get to know, to build your agency on, to build a business around, and really be positioned to grow vertically in the future. So yeah, this looks promising. All right, so that's all. If you run into any issues, of course, you can just contact me, send me a message on LinkedIn, or fill out the form in our resource hub. You can just type in members.flireo.com, make an account, and then go through the documentation or all the information that I give and all the resources that you need to actually set this up. You can make a free account and then get access to that right now. So in this video, I haven't prepared it yet. I'm going to build that after I record the video, but there's going to be another module right here for this video where you get everything you need to build out these steps. And this is the form that I mean, is if you run into any issues, you can just fill that out and I get back to you as soon as possible. If you've learned anything new, hit that subscribe button and leave me a like and a comment. If you have any tips for future videos, let me know. And if you want if you want to brainstorm AI, I'm just as enthusiastic about it as many in this space. You can give me a message on LinkedIn, connect there, or give us a call or an email with vreo.com. I would love to get to know you guys. So, well, thank you very much, and have a nice day.